My name is Isaac Berniker, advanced mathematics teacher here at American Aid. Before I begin the main portion of my remarks this afternoon, I'd like to acknowledge first several people. I'd like to recognize my colleagues here at American Indian, including Ms. May and Mr. Glover, fellow 12th grade teachers Mr. Moskowitz, Mr. Layton, Mrs. Green, Mr. Hood, and Mr. Russell, and particularly also Mrs. Walker and Ms. Simpson. Thank you all for your ongoing hard work and support. Also, I'd like to acknowledge and thank Dr. Chavis, who unfortunately cannot be with us here this afternoon. It's safe to say that without his vision, help, and generosity over the years, we would not be here tonight. So Dr. Chavis, I think I speak for all of us in saying we are very grateful for everything you've done, and thank you. And now, graduates, I have some comments for you. I find that graduations are often a time for looking back and enjoying a bit of nostalgia. In the years that we have worked together, you have constantly surprised, entertained, and impressed me with your personality, with your quirks, and with your intellect. For example, I think fondly of Connie, Pauline, and Fanny, my three blind knights. Don't be fooled by Connie's sweet voice, Pauline's tired, achy bones, or Fanny's benign, well, hello, how are you today? These are cunning ladies with sharp wits and keen minds. I think of Kenneth, who is so talented both in the humanities and in science. Kenny, now that you're graduating, maybe I will let you shoot that flaming arrow through my apartment window. Right? I think of Cynthia, who without hype or fanfare worked so hard to become a leader among her peers in AP calculus. I think of Kai Chung, whose tremendous gift for mathematics might be superseded only by his own determination to learn English, and who reminded us every day what it was. I think of Alma, who appreciates the color purple almost as much as me, and who we can count on to add that special emotional element to any situation. I think of Danny, whose biting wit and iconoclastic outlook created a perfect storm for precisely judged one-liners, and who emerged over time as a highly perceptive calculus problem solver. I think of Tiff, who suggested I talk to her gloved hands on more than one occasion, and who plays the piano with skill and emotion. I think of Jose, who demonstrated the notion of fashionably late almost on a daily basis, but whose great intellect percolated just below the surface, leaping forth to offer perceptive and amazing insight. I think of Dave, who can't catch a football to save her life, but whose tremendous talent and poise inspired respect from her peers and teachers alike. I think of Dominic, whose curiosity and willingness to speak up set an example from which we all can learn. I think of Hal, who wandered around classroom A more than Moses in the Hebrews wandered the mighty wilderness, but whose generosity and genuine concern in helping his classmates knew no limit. I think of little Richard, whose charisma and positive attitude lifted everyone's spirits. I think of Alan, who added that certain gourmet element to AIPHS by roasting potatoes on the space heater under his desk during class, and who developed over time into a skilled mathematician. I think of Jeremy, whose hairstyle on a given morning will tell you instantly if he had woken up late for school, and who by year's end has earned the title of Student of the Month. I think of Armando, blessed with so many talents, whose aura of calmness and intelligence made him the unquestioned leader of both his class and the whole student body. I think of Edwin, whose thunderous sneezes evoked images of big bad wolves and little pigs, but whose unrelenting dedication to his academics makes him absolutely worthy of the title of valedictorian. And finally, I think of Richard Yu, who is all too happy to deflate my ego time and again and whose psychotic, flying razor blade Rube Goldberg machine in 8th grade still ranks as one of my strongest memories. Richard, who embodies supreme meticulousness and self-discipline. I also look back, though, in a more serious sense. Earlier this school year, many of us faculty members went to a screening of the documentary Waiting for Superman, which explored several of the diverging issues surrounding the charter school movement. What unites the film is the story of a handful of young students, each hoping desperately to escape the grim future that awaits at the local traditional school and gain admission instead to a charter school. All that is required to secure a place in the school is that the student and his family win a simple admissions lottery. If their number gets called, they're in. Otherwise, they're out. As things unfold, a couple of our heroes do win, and a sense of elation sweeps through the audience. On the other hand, some of our students' numbers never get called, and the sadness begins to creep in. As we exited the theater, I began thinking about our own students here at American Indian, and about you, the graduating class in particular. I realize that you all made tremendous sacrifices coming here these many years. Probably many social sacrifices, perhaps some athletic sacrifices, almost certainly sacrifices in quantity of sleep and peace of mind. To make it to this point, you have also had to be strong, to avoid temptations and pitfalls, to resist the urge to give up. But I also feel that you have absolutely won the lottery. When you contemplate the paths you might have followed, consider yourself extremely lucky to sit here now, poised to graduate from high school, ready to meet the challenge of university academics head on. So graduations are not just about looking back, they're about looking forward. And if you will allow, I'd like to extend the analogy of winning the lottery one step further. In a few minutes, when you walk across this stage, you will receive not just your diploma, but a sweatshirt, which represents, in a sense, another winning lottery ticket, the opportunity to pursue a college degree. In reading Outliers recently, we stressed Gladwell's assertion that outliers are those who have been given opportunities and who have had the strength and presence of mind to seize them. Realize that it isn't enough to have the winning lottery numbers. You have to cash the ticket. It isn't enough to matriculate at a university. You have to graduate. We, your teachers, families, and friends, we have watched you mature tremendously and achieve great things during your time at the ICHS, and you certainly have the right to feel a sense of accomplishment tonight. But remember, too, that you have an even more important road ahead, lined with even more temptations and pitfalls. In pursuing your college degree and your future dreams, keep these words of Gladwell's close to heart. If you work hard enough and assert yourself, and use your mind and imagination, you can shape the world to your desires. It's been a great ride. I will miss you. Congratulations, and goodbye.
Good afternoon. My name is Adam Moskowitz, and I've been teaching these guys English for a couple of years. Before I talk about the students on the stage, I want to thank all of the parents and other family members of those who sit up here today. I am largely to blame for stealing hours and hours of family time over the last 2 years. Hours and hours and hours. No doubt you have seen your child in front of a computer slaving away at some essay during dinner time. No doubt you've seen your child slaving away at a different essay during breakfast time, on the day the essay is due. No doubt you have heard your child curse my name at the top of their lungs. For tolerating all of this, I thank you. Thank you for your support. I also want to send a very special thanks to my colleague, Isaac Berniger, whose wise, compassionate, mathematical soul has not stopped supporting these students for 6 straight years, summers included. Students, I know your romance numbers over the last 6 years continues to forge and flourish, and you're planning on doing all the math in the world when you get to college. But let me warn you, it may not always be like this. Mr. D is truly a rare teacher. Yes, you are rare students. At pt.2, the rules are tough. Choices seem few. Stressful days are many. Clearly, you have endured all of this. In doing so, you have managed to make the place yours, to make your education yours. You guys have owned your education, and I knew this, always. I knew this when you were in 9th grade and you seemed to convince Mr. Glover to let you test your science projects on the street. I had no idea what you were doing, but he told me you were doing a great job. That same year, I had to beg 10th and 11th graders to join my yoga club, which completely failed. But several of you freshmen showed up without even asking. I have known this during the last few weeks as you guys have volunteered to do non-required presentations and have continued to discuss complex literature to the very last day. And I know this now as you sit here shifting in these chairs, waiting for these 4 years to be official. Almost there. Very close now. Gosh, what's it like? This waiting. I'm guessing the word anticipation doesn't even begin to describe it. So enjoy it. Enjoy the feeling. Check it out. Shake its hand. Make friends with it. You guys have spent a really long time preparing. Endless hours of studying for endless quizzes, only to be followed by the next unit of study, which means more quizzes which are simply harder. Getting a novel so I can give you an essay so I can give you another novel. Months and months of internet research just to figure out where to apply to college. Applying to college. Waiting to hear about applications. More school, more waiting, more school, all preparing. And so now that we are only minutes away from the point of all this, the light at the end of the tunnel, the period at the end of the sentence, or any other corny cliche that you can think of, check it out. Check out the anticipation. Check out all of it. The anticipation, the fear, the excitement, the fun, even the pain. Ferris Bueller said, life moves